I'm registered dietitian Abby Sharp, and on my new podcast, Bite Back with Abby Sharp, I'll be dismantling the multi-billion-dollar diet industry that keeps us in a cycle of self-loathing and food fear. Join me every Tuesday for expert interviews, engaging conversations, and my signature science and sass to bust myths, correct misinformation, and help you break free from diet culture for good. Listen for free on the Seeker app or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is the Pooja and Gurdeep podcast.
From 98.1 CHFI Studios in Toronto, Canada.
Hey Toronto, this is Ed Sheeran.
This is Kelly Clarkson.
Hi, this is Bryan Adams.
This is Adele.
This is Madonna.
It's Michael Bublé, and you're listening to the Pooja and Gurdeep Show.
It's fun. They're amazing.
Okay, so producer Steph has come across what is being dubbed as the world's shortest IQ test, although I take issue with that because it doesn't actually give you your IQ.
Yeah, I know.
It just tells you how you fare against other people, which I guess is helpful. So this is 3 questions, Steph, and it is put together by an MIT professor.
Yeah.
Okay. Scientists dispute the usefulness of traditional IQ testing and measuring intelligence. An MIT professor has come up with 3 questions. I have not seen these. You have not seen these. These are all math-related questions, apparently.
And so I failed.
You've done it, and you got 0?
Yep.
Okay, so here's some of the stats that you gave me, Steph. 33% of people who took this, so 1 in 3, got 0.
That's
so you're
me.
part of the 33. Only 17% of people got all 3 correct, which means the other 50% got 1 or 2.
Right.
See, I'm already mathing.
Look at you. Don't use all. You just can't find the bell.
I couldn't find the bell. Yep.
Just don't use it all because you're going to need it for these 3.
Okay.
So, and also these questions, when you hear them, the answers sound obvious.
Right, but you have to think about it a little bit.
Yes.
Okay, so you can play along if you're at home. If you're in the car, obviously be safe. But yes, you can play along with this world's shortest IQ test.
And I
All
have
right.
the answers. Doesn't mean I understand them. I'll tell you that right now.
Okay,
ready?
All right, sure.
Okay, a bat and a ball cost $1.10 in total. The bat costs $1 more than the ball. How much does the ball cost?
Bat costs $1 more than the ball. Mm-hmm. How much does the ball cost or the bat cost?
It's how much does the ball cost?
5 cents.
Okay, how did you figure that out?
Because it has to cost $1 more, and the total is $1.10. So $1.05 plus 5 cents equals $1.10, and there's $1 discrepancy.
I don't like you. I figured it was $1. It's $1.10. It's $1 more.
No, but if it was $1, it'd be $1.10, but the discrepancy is only 90.
You're not helping me. My brain hurts. Okay, so 1. Number 2. If it takes 5 machines 5 minutes to make 5 widgets, how long would it take 100 machines to make 100 widgets? Need music.
It takes 5 machines, 5 minutes
to make 5 widgets.
5 widgets. So each machine is making it in, it would be 5 minutes.
Yeah, I don't like you right now.
Is that right?
It is, because if it takes 5 machines 5 minutes to make 5 widgets,
Right, 'cause it's 5
then one
different
machine
machine.
makes a widget in 5 minutes, so 100 are going to be the same.
Right. So each
Wow.
machine is making 1 widget in 5 minutes.
This isn't
so
Camp
it's just
Beaker Deep, but
extrapolates.
apparently it is.
The number is immaterial. The number of
All right. Okay, here's number 3. You've already pretty much passed, but in a lake, there's a patch of lily pads. Every day, the patch doubles in size. If it takes 48 days for the patch to cover the entire lake, how long would it take for the patch to cover half of the lake?
Oh, okay. Hold on. There's a lily pad. Lily pad doubles in size every day.
Yeah, so every day the patch doubles in size.
And after 48 days, it
will
covers
cover
the entire lake.
How long would it take for the patch to cover half of the lake?
Oh man, I need like more paper and more time to work this out.
No.
Because it doubles every day. So sorry, did you say what size it starts at? Did you say?
Every day the patch doubles in size.
Doesn't say what size it starts.
It takes 48 days for it to cover the entire lake. How long would it take for it to cover half the lake?
Oh man, I know there's a formula here and I can't think of it because we're almost out of time. Is it? I'm just going to guess. I'm not going to work this out. 12?
No, but you're kind of close. So the patch doubles in size every day, eventually covers the lake. On day 48,
it covers the whole,
it would cover it on day 47. The last day of doubling in size takes it from half of the lake's worth to coverage full.
On the 47 days, it covers half of it. Yes, because it doubles. Oh, that seems
It says
rather,
don't fall into the trap that the answer is 24 days.
No,
because you're just
I
going
wouldn't
in
think
half.
24. No, that doesn't. No, I knew it wasn't 24. But that is quite logical when you reverse engineer it, right? Because it doubles in size.
Okay, whatever. Yeah, you're smart. We get it. Oh. No, we're playing that later.
I could have done better, actually. I'm disappointed I missed that last one. How did you do at home? Drop us a text and let us know how you fared.
From CHFI Studios,
It's the Pooja and Gurdeep podcast.
How do you feel about Christmas decorations being put up on your neighbors' homes before December? Because apparently this has caused quite a ruckus in one neighborhood where, there's a street war. There's a street war because they're divided. Half the neighbors believe that, they should not be put up before December. And then there's the other half that's all like, it's my home. I can do whatever I want.
People actually complain about this?
They put it in an anonymous letter and sent it to all the people who had the decorations up and said, take them down. Now, they're not saying who they are, but now you feel like your neighbors, at least half of them, disapprove of what you're putting up in your neighborhood. What are you supposed to do with that?
If you look up the term passive-aggressive in the dictionary, there's a picture of an anonymous letter.
Yes.
Like, come on, man. Just front it, knock on a door if it really bothers you that much and just be like, hey, listen, these decorations are a bit early. But also, like, does it really bother you that much? What are we talking about? If it's regular decorations, a few lights, maybe you got an inflatable, mixing an inflatable Santa, I think it's probably okay. If you're the neighbor to the Griswolds, I can understand why this might be a little problematic. If the lights are blinding and they're coming in through your window and you can't sleep at night, you got to invest in blackout curtains. That I can see.
And I understand, like, everybody is entitled to their opinion of when is too early and when is too late. You're entitled to that. But that's not really what this is. This is, as a neighbor, do you have a right to be upset because you're the one who has to look at it? Do you have a right to say something because on a daily basis, you're the one who's exposed to it? Or is it my home, my choice? Because I'll tell you right now, November 1st, I put my Christmas lights up. They were already up, but I turned them on.
Right, for Diwali?
I did it for Diwali. But then I kept thinking, people must think that I'm just putting them up early for Christmas. What if I got a letter like that?
Right, like that crazy Indian family has their Christmas lights on November 1st.
So I quickly turned them off on November 2nd.
But enough people know about Diwali. I think it's fine.
Yes.
Again, I feel like this is like a legal battle, right? Because it's like you said, my house, my choice. It's like my body, my choice. I think if it's tasteful. It's got to be tasteful,
right? But then
if it's gaudy, I can understand why that might be. It's an eyesore. It cheapens the neighborhood. Maybe you're worried about property value and optics. But if it's tasteful,
is what 1.5 inflatables is okay, but 2 is too much.
Yeah, there's a definition. It has to do with lot size and neighborhood, and I don't know,
and square footage.
Yeah, I'm not a lawyer, but you know what? Why don't you help solve this for us?
5 calls
Decide it all.
The 5 calls decide it all.
Okay, do neighbors get a say in when you're allowed to put up your Christmas decorations? Okay, this is not about your opinion of when that is. This is, do you get a say in when you're allowed to put up Christmas decorations as a neighbor?
Interesting. I don't even know what my answer to this would be.
From CHFI Studios,
It's the Pooja and Gurdeep podcast.
We're asking you, do neighbors get a say in when you're allowed to put up Christmas decorations, considering, they're the ones who have to look at it?
Yeah, like if you're throwing it up like mid-October before Halloween's done, are they allowed to complain?
Are they allowed to demand you take it down?
Like now we're kind of in the Christmas window. It's kind of fine if it's up. But what do you think? Do neighbors get a say in when you're allowed to put up your Christmas decorations? 5 calls decide it all. Steve in Toronto, kick it off for us.
I would say absolutely not. I would think it's your home. It's your choice, right? I think if they have a problem with it, they can close their dark blinds and just go on with their day.
Okay. All right. Your vote's been counted. Thanks, Steve.
Awesome. Thank you.
Sharon from Hampton. So what do you think? Do neighbors get a say in when you're allowed to put up your Christmas decorations?
Oh, my goodness. No. Like, come on. Get a life. Like, really? Like, I don't know. We've had problems with nosy neighbors and people that were overbearing about things. And thankfully, we live in an area where we're far enough apart from everybody that nobody really cares. But I think, like what Gurdeep said about as long as they're not gaudy or there's lights shining in your house, how is it your business? And plus, Christmas lights just make you happy. So
there you go.
Enjoy.
I'm moving to Hampton. Thanks, Sharon.
You're welcome. Have a great day, guys. Love you.
You too.
Joshua from Hamilton. So do you think neighbors get a say in when you're allowed to put up your Christmas decorations?
Absolutely not. But I am also of the personal opinion that we should wait till at least Remembrance Day is done.
Right. Yeah, that's in terms of timing. Now, Joshua, what if your neighbors are the Griswolds and their lights are extremely over the top? Doesn't matter?
I wouldn't be a problem with that. It's their house, their electricity bill.
True.
Good point. Okay, thanks, Joshua.
All right, have a good day.
Emily from Toronto. So what do you think? Do neighbors get a say in when you're allowed to put up your Christmas decorations?
Absolutely no. It's my house, my rules.
I mean, when you say it that way, it sounds pretty cut and dry.
You know the funny thing? Actually, my neighbors already put theirs up back in October.
Oh, really?
That's aggressive.
Yes. 2 weeks ago, I saw the neighbor's light was already up.
And were you annoyed?
No, it's not my house, so I don't really care.
So people are trick-or-treating with Dancer and Prancer and Donner and Blitzen?
I guess so.
All right. Okay. Thanks,
Well,
Emily.
it's nice to look at it, but not my choice.
Thanks for the call.
Thank you.
Ron from Niagara Falls. So do neighbors get a say in when you're allowed to put up your Christmas decorations, yes or no?
100% no. My neighbor is the guy who calls all the time on me.
Oh.
He hates it. Everybody else in my neighborhood loves it. It's called bylaw and everything like that. And they just come over and laugh and smile and take pictures of my house.
Wow.
Oh,
Ron,
no.
can I ask, what are you Clark Griswold? Like, what is your setup?
I am probably close to it, yes.
So you have a crate, like you got like inflatable reindeers and snowmen and just the whole thing?
Lights, I have like different fancy like shiny things. You name it, I've got it.
Wow. So, Ron, can we get the number of your neighbor? Because we really want to hear from him. I'm kidding.
I would love to hear from him.
You probably always do anyway.
Thanks for the call, buddy.
Everyone, take care.
Have a good
Bye.
one. There you go. That was decisive. 5-0. Do neighbors get a say in when you're allowed to put up Christmas decorations? 5-0 saying no, they do not.
Let Ron be the example. He has a neighbor who calls the city on him and like tries to put on some sort of bylaw issue or, you know, have some sort of problem. There are those people who call the city on their neighbors, so don't pretend like you don't exist. I know you're there.
The letters are often anonymous, and they're listening right now. They don't want to call us because they want to remain anonymous.
I see.
We know you exist in the shadows.
The Pooja and Gurdeep Podcast.
I'm registered dietitian Abby Sharp, and on my new podcast, Bite Back with Abby Sharp, I'll be dismantling the multi-billion-dollar diet industry that keeps us in a cycle of self-loathing and food fear. Join me every Tuesday for expert interviews, engaging conversations, and my signature science and sass to bust myths, correct misinformation, and help you break free from diet culture for good. Listen for free on the Seeker app or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is the Pooja and Gurdeep Podcast.
Good morning. Have you seen this? You know how People Magazine does its Sexiest Man Alive every year? Mm-hmm. It's always like a little badge of honor, right? You've got that cover forever. Paul Rudd, Mel Gibson, Richard Gere, whatever.
Haven't some men like been Sexiest Man Alive more than once even?
Have they?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know you could be a repeat winner.
You're so sexy, they have to crown you Sexiest Man Alive more than once.
You're not allowed to be that sexy. It's illegal. Well, now it's gotten very like Gen Z in terms of basically participation awards now. So there's still Sexiest Man Alive, but now there are these like Reader's Choice Awards essentially, and there's 1 million categories. So basically everyone's a winner.
Well, I don't get it. You're Sexiest Man Alive. That's it. You're the sexiest man.
Yeah. Well, now there's subcategories. There's Sexiest Handyman. I'm not making these up. Sexiest Handyman, Sexiest Long Married Star.
What?
Gen Sexiest. Like sexiest Gen X, I guess. Sexiest dog dad.
No,
sexiest talk show host. Sexiest,
you're making this up.
Sexiest podcast host.
No.
I'm going to submit for that one.
No.
Sexiest supportive partner in sports. Wow. So they picked the male of a female, the partner of a female athlete.
Come on.
Yeah.
This feels like a bit of a reach. This feels like everybody wins.
This is the Oprah of sexy. Like everyone's a winner. Everyone's sexy. You're sexy. They're sexy. I'm sexy.
And these are really specific as well. Like I don't understand why they have to be so specific about it. It's like Sexiest Man Alive, who's named Paul, who's married to a woman who can't blow her nose, sneeze, or hum. You know, it's that specific.
There you go. And I mean, because it's gotten so specific, we thought the rules are out the window. Let's just come up with our own categories. So I submit this to you for me.
Okay.
Sexiest Indo-Canadian man with a cockapoo named Coffee. With commitment issues.
Yes, add that to it. Okay, how about this one? A sexiest man who can parallel park while sipping a pumpkin spice latte.
Oh, it's very seasonal.
Yes.
I like that one. Sexiest man who still thinks cargo shorts are practical and fashionable.
Sexiest man who knows all the words to Wannabe by the Spice Girls and is proud of it.
I love that one. How about this? Sexiest man who always has to ask, is it hot in here or is it just me?
You get the point. This is ridiculous and far too specific, but welcome to 2024.
Do you have a sexy category? What's the category? Maybe if you've got one for your partner, if you're listening, you're like, my husband, my partner is this, and it's super specific. Let's put you in there. Let's make them the sexiest man alive that blank.
Okay. Well, I mean, look, as long as everybody's getting in on sexy, we want to know from you, what is your sexiest man alive category?
What is your sexy?
Yeah, what is your sexy? Richard, who's driving right now, what's yours?
Sexiest extreme dad bod.
Sexiest extreme dad bod. Okay, so we're all familiar with the dad bod. Richard, tell us, what is an extreme dad bod?
Extreme dad bod is a little more squishy, like extra squishy.
Wow, we are really getting specific now.
Well, Richard, congratulations. You have been awarded the sexiest extreme dad bod. Congratulations.
Hell yeah.
I love that. Thanks for the call.
Yeah, bye.
Hannah from Alliston, what is your sexy category?
Sexiest man who can find something without asking for it again.
Woo! That is sexy. That is really sexy.
We all know them. Our dads, our husbands, our brother.
What does your husband always ask you where to find?
Oh, he's blaming it that we moved. He's like, I don't know where anything is. I'm like, I don't either. So figure it out.
My problem is when they say they don't know where something is, but they haven't even looked. Like they haven't even tried.
100%.
Yeah.
Or when we ask where something is, but then it's in our hand. That's happened as well. Hannah, thank you for the call.
Thanks, guys. Have a good day.
So many good texts coming in as well.
Yeah, everyone's so creative. Mary from Belleville saying, sexiest man alive who asks a question 4 rooms away and all he hears is blah, 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 and he expects an answer.
Speaking from experience, Doug from Peterborough chiming in with sexiest man who only communicates with his group chat via GIFs.
Oh.
Every group chat's got GIF guy.
That's a sexy man, apparently. Jill from Mississauga saying, sexiest man who can never find his glasses, but they're always on his head.
That's amazing. Emily from Pickering. Sexiest man named Blake who runs a fantasy football league no one wants to be in.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Allison from Toronto saying, sexiest man who claims he can't believe he just bought a minivan, but low-key loves it.
Very specific. Judy from Brantford. Sexiest man who hasn't quite figured out how to use the air fryer.
Oh, yes. Yes. That one I can relate to, Judy. Thank you for all of your sexiest man categories.
If I've learned anything today, it's that we're all sexy.
Everyone is sexy. You get a sexy. You get a sexy. Everybody gets a sexy.
We're all winners.
The Pooja and Gurdeep Podcast.
From 98.1 CHFI.
All right, I'm feeling quite nostalgic here because Steph and I were just chatting off air. Steph, you were doing a little, fall cleaning, and I was also downsizing recently. You and I both came across a bunch of old 90s clothing brands that I don't know if they still exist anymore.
I know.
It would be like to a younger person, to a Gen Z or a Gen Alpha, these things would be like relics.
I think some of them are still around, but they're not the same versions that we had. And they were so popular when we were in the 90s.
The thing we always wore. Like, what did you find?
So I found my bum equipment sweater.
Oh my gosh, bum equipment. I remember that.
It was a white sweater and it had dark navy blue stripes, like thin stripes across, and then
it
had the bum.
Yeah,
B.U.M.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's wild.
And then I was trying to look for my Club Monaco one because I had a navy blue one and a white one with the circle logo on it.
Yes.
I don't have them anymore. I don't remember giving them away. I don't remember what happened, but I want them back.
Classic Club Monaco. I used to have, and I know Gap still exists, but just the big Gap sweatshirts with the giant. Why was that the thing in the 80s and 90s? You just write your name in massive letters on the front.
My son has a Gap hoodie zip up, and it says Gap across it,
Gap
big.
Across
I loved it.
Right. I was also, as the stuff I found at my mom's place when I was clearing out some high school yearbooks, and I started leafing through those, and I saw pictures of people hanging out all wearing mod robes. Remember mod robes?
Yes.
I never owned those.
They had
but
pants, too. They were comfy.
That's what I was picturing. Yeah,
yes.
They're almost kind of like quasi bell bottoms. Like they were wider
so
at the bottom.
Comfortable, though. I love them. Yeah, they were.
Tearaways?
No, I had tearaways.
Yeah.
I had the Adidas or Puma tearaways. Those were great. Dangerous, but great.
What about a little cotton ginny action?
Oh my God, yes, cotton ginny. Those stores were everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, it was funny. When Target came back, they brought back Beaver Canoe.
Oh.
And so I got my kids a couple Beaver Canoe sweaters, and now they've outgrown them. But that was great, too. I love that.
Mix in a little Northern Reflections action.
Oh, those stores too were everywhere.
Yes.
And they were always, everything in there was pastel. It was always very pastel in there.
I didn't rock this one, but there were a lot of people in my high school who rocked FUBU.
Yeah,
Remember
I never
FUBU?
rocked it, but yes, FUBU was everywhere.
That was big for like a minute.
And when I moved to Toronto, I worked in Yorkdale Mall, and United Colors of Benetton was like everything. Everyone had the sweaters, the clothing, everything.
Was that British? Is that what that was?
Maybe.
It sounds very British.
United Colors Benetton.
Yeah, United Kingdom, United Colors of Benetton.
Sure, I think you just made that up.
Benetton.
But everything
Sounds
of theirs,
like Paddington.
They always had flags of different countries on their stuff too.
Ah, okay.
So-
International brand.
Yeah.
It was very on the nose back in the day. There was no subtlety in the 90s.
Yeah.
What is the clothing brand you wore back in the day that this generation has never heard of?
From CHFI Studios,
It's the Pooja and Gurdeep podcast.
Man, we are taking a walk down memory lane. Steph was doing some autumn cleaning. I recently downsized my mom's place, and we both came across some really old clothing brands that we rocked back in the day like it was nobody's business in the 90s. And kids today, I don't even know if they've heard of some of these.
Nope.
And there's a lot of these. So we're asking you, what is the clothing brand you rocked back in the day that this generation has probably never heard of? Let's go to Amelia in Ajax.
I have two of them, and they kind of went together. So there were Bass Region penny loafer shoes,
Oh, okay. You remember that? Okay.
and then I remember Levi's 501, and you had to cut off the front so you could see the buttons.
Oh, man, I
Yeah.
remember that. Levi's 501s. Yes, that is great. And do you remember, I don't know if this is still a thing, but do you remember like the little tab on the back of your Levi's was like, you know, what color the tab was showed
it was
like
orange,
red tab, silver tab. There
Yeah.
was one tab that was like, oh, it's the most expensive one. Like
Was it black?
black or silver? I don't
I
remember.
thought it was silver.
Maybe
I think
the
it was the
silver.
silver tab. I remember my cousin got one once. My brother and I were like, whoa.
And if you had the
It was
orange ones,
silver
they were like
tab.
the cheap ones.
I'm like, why don't we just take a
orange
marker?
was the cheapest.
Yeah.
Why don't we just take a marker and paint the tab?
And if it was cut off, then it was like a dysfunctional one, or like
Yes. That is amazing. Amelia, thanks for the call.
all right, have a good day.
You too. Oh, man. Okay. What is the clothing brand you wore back in the day that this generation has probably never heard of? Let's head to Catherine in Collingwood.
K-Way jackets. Now, they still sell K-Way jackets, but we used to call them icky jackets. And they were all different colors, and they're sort of a nylon kind of windbreaker.
Yeah, they're
yes.
like windbreakers,
I'm looking at them now on Google Images. Yeah, these are looking familiar.
And then you could fold them up and put them in a little
Yes,
pouch
in
and
the
wear them like a
pouch.
fanny and wear them like a fanny pouch.
Could you do that with the K-Way
Yeah,
ones?
that was the K-Way.
Yeah, that's-
Okay,
those
I
are great.
remember these. I just didn't know they were called K-Way jackets. Oh,
Yeah.
these are actually pretty
Yeah,
cool. These
I
need
want
to come,
them.
these need to come back.
Yeah, they still have them.
Do they?
Yeah.
Catherine, thanks so much for sharing.
Oh, no problem. Thank you.
thanks for listening to the Pooja and Gurdeep podcast.
Listen to Pooja and Gurdeep live weekday mornings from 5 to 9.
Only on 98.1 CHFI.
Toronto's perfect music mix.
I'm registered dietitian Abby Sharp, and on my new podcast, Bite Back with Abby Sharp, I'll be dismantling the multi-billion-dollar diet industry that keeps us in a cycle of self-loathing and food fear. Join me every Tuesday for expert interviews, engaging conversations, and my signature science and sass to bust myths, correct misinformation, and help you break free from diet culture for good. Listen for free on the Seeker app or wherever you get your podcasts.